Hello, welcome to Word from Your Mother Tarot. This is going to be study time with the moon. I've already had one false start. We're just off to a roll. But anyway, if you've seen any of these before, I'm trying to stick to the same format. This is the example, and I'm going to read the oh boy, it just went right out of my head. Rider-Waite tarot first, and then I have about 12 or 13 other tarot cards out here that have books, and I already have the cards in them, and then we'll look at the different versions of the moon card. And while I'm thinking about it, right here is this kind of what messed me up the first time I tried to do it. I don't have a book for this deck, but it's the old shit. I swear I've got Alzheimer's. I do. Old style tarot, and I'm very interested in it. Some of it looks a lot like Nostradamus. And anyway, I was already set up, and I saw this deck, and I thought that I would have a look at it. And some of the tower does appear to be different. And then I also looked at the tower here. This is kind of in the water, but then I thought, no, it's just at night. So it's the land of Nod, right? Remember the land of Nod? Have you ever heard of that? So, anyway, one more time. Here's this little guy. And then I'll just, I'll put him over here. And then, other than that, I guess it's ready, set, go. So, the moon. Arthur Edward Waite. That's what I was trying to... I thought it was Rider-Waite. The distinction between this card and some of the conventional... The distinction between this card and some of the conventional types is that the moon is increasing on what is called the side of mercy, to the right of the observer. I didn't know that. So that's going from crescent to gibbous. That's my observation. On to the right of the observer. It has 16 chief and 16 secondary rays. The card represents life of the imagination apart from life of the spirit. The path between the towers is the issue into the unknown. The dog and the wolf are the fears of the natural mind in the presence of that place of exit, when there is only reflected light to guide it. That place of exit. The last reference is a key to another form of symbolism. The intellectual light is a reflection, and beyond it is the unknown mystery which it cannot show forth. It illuminates our animal nature, types of which are represented below: the dog, the wolf, and that which comes up out of the deeps, the nameless and hideous tendency which is lower than the savage beast. It strives to attain manifestation, symbolized by crawling from the abyss of water to the land, but as a rule it sinks back whence it came. The face of the mind directs a calm gaze upon the unrest below. The dew of thought falls. The message is, peace, be still, and it may be that there shall come a calm upon the animal nature, while the abyss beneath shall cease from giving up a form. Yeah, that's earlier when it's been a while since I did this. Earlier when I was laying it out, I did remember to get my table though to put the books on, but I was like, what the hell do I have all these little cards in here for? Now I remember. And that was what I didn't do, was to set up the readers. I got all the cards out, but I didn't set up the readers. Okay. The moon. If you encounter the moon in a reading, I wish I had something to prop this up on. If you encounter the moon in a reading, the major arcana always indicates an important event, category, or month, and will overpower all the other cards on both impact and effect. Many nines in a reading mean that, so it's card number 18, I guess, right? And they're saying that 1 + 8 = 9. That's how I got there. Many 9s in the reading mean that situations or events are nearing completion or have just been completed, and another plateau awaits. Ooh, someone's moving in from the darkness. The focus is on if you encounter the moon in the focus, it is on inner disturbances or disquiet, feelings of foreboding or dread, and a very perplexing, changeable, or deceptive course of affairs in whatever area is most important for you at the moment. If you encounter the moon in the realm of desire, okay, I don't know how I want to say that. The moon and desire. I don't know, I need to think about it, but then I never do. You want your dreams to come true or for things to go smoothly. So if the moon came, if I said, what is her desire, and the moon came up, I could say that you want your dreams to come true or for things to go smoothly, but have a feeling they are not going to. That's bullshit. I don't like that. I would never see it that way. Never. Not for desire. I would something I don't want to be discovered about. The moon. Because I'm hiding it, right? Right? Anyway, I'm just reading this book here. Sometimes I hear what I'm saying, though, and my bullshit meter goes, what? You want your dreams to come true or for things to go smoothly, but have a feeling they're not going to, in desire. That's just spirit hiding it from you, or you're not listening to yourself. Now, see? So, all right, I got to move on from this, because now I'm dissecting it. And if the moon comes up in romance, you're going to be disillusioned and disappointed in a relationship you thought would work but won't. But it says didn't. So the moon can be something that didn't work out. See, it's too late. It's too late for me. Okay, if you see the moon in an unexpected way, you will be unprepared for an altercation that you'll run into at work. I don't agree with any of this. If you see moon under the context of others, your response to others will be inconsistent and changeable, but you will want to... I could see how moon could be moody. Your response to others will be inconsistent and changeable, but you will want to help them find their inner light. See, it all comes back to your hidden agenda. Okay, but that's backwards. Okay, if you see the moon in the home, you're planning to entertain a friend or get together with someone on a project at home. It will prove to be a very disillusioning experience. This also indicates a period where you will tend to sleep or eat more than usual. Disillusioning. That's bullshit. The moon in travel. If you go on a trip or outing, it will be very unpleasant due to many unforeseen problems or disturbing influences which will cause you to return sooner than expected or to make you wish you hadn't gone. I don't agree with any of this. Papers. If you're looking for answers, the information you will receive will be perplexing, inconclusive or difficult to follow up on, but don't give up. You're closer than you think. I would agree with that one, just because of the confusion, the murkiness. If you see the moon in work and career, you will run into conflicts which you will require a great deal of emotional control, but you will master the situation internally rather than moving in. Yeah, you keep it under control. Keep that crazy under control. You will experience, in unions, the moon in unions, you will experience a disunion, disillusionment, disappointment, and subterfuge. The moon in an emotional state, you will be crushed by a huge disappointment. Someone or something you counted on will let you down and you will be completely devastated. The moon in pleasure, what once looked promising or entertaining will prove to be its opposite. And what you hoped would bring pleasure will turn into a test of endurance. News. You're keeping the animal down. You got to keep the animal at bay, not letting it rise up. That's supposed to remain hidden. If you see the moon in the news, expect an upsetting or disappointing message concerning someone you care for or love. If you see the moon in family, upsetting conditions will arise, making you feel confused, uncertain, or threatened. Too many emotional elements will be imposed upon you. The moon in the physical body. You could have physical premonitions of that which is to come, or be subject to strange sensations, sleeping disorders, or lumps, bumps, or cysts. What space is the physical body? Please tell me. Finances. You will be paid that which is owed or due to you, but will feel shortchanged, or there's more to it, for shortchanged or cheated. I agree with that one. Time. After a major crisis, you will break into the light of a new day. Darkness before the dawn. Friends. You will be disillusioned, confused, or uncertain about a friend or a lover and won't be able to sort out your feelings. Visitors. Callers. An unexpected caller will arrive or call, but you won't be too pleased about it because it will upset you or bother you. Mail. You, like in the box. You'll be concerned about your mail or the arrival of something through the mail or something that you're doing that involves mail. Slow messages. Moon messages. Anxiety. Your thinking will be muddled and you will be troubled by feelings of dread, deception, or foreboding. Because you can't see your way clear on any level and have a terrible feeling that you will lose out or be disappointed. Yeah, I agree with that one. Disappointment. You are going to be very disillusioned by other people's actions, words, or deeds, and you may also be chastised unfairly. Endings. Strife, conflict, confusion, and despair over old wounds or grudges will cease to exist. I've lost my mouse. Well, okay. When I get done with this, I'm going to the greenhouse somewhere. The Amish greenhouse. When the moon shows up in endings, it's strife, conflict, confusion, and despair over old wounds or grudges and will cease to exist. New beginnings. A new trend or group effort will begin and things will work out after all. A new friend may also be found. No. Inheritance. A challenge will have to be confronted that will take a strong will and strength of character. Ooh, mommy issues. Rewards, gifts. You will find that something thought lost, hopeless, or impossible to acquire will be retrieved. Just keeping it's the back burner. Playing XYZ. Revived, replaced, or purchased. Success. After a period of devastation and despair, you will achieve success and things will end on a happy note. That's like try again later in the 8-ball, man. Some of this book is just anything to fill in the blank space, you know? I'm glad. I think somebody gave this to me. Fortune. Expect some very fortunate adjustments in your dealings with others, group efforts, and camaraderie. Blessings. You will have the presence of mind to take the middle road, which will free you from the pendulum of win, fail, have, want, pleasure, or pain. In the mundane, a special guidance. There will be many... why does that say mundane? It says mundane somewhere in the Nostradamus. And remember I said that this reminded me of the Nostradamus. That's so weird. There will be so many unforeseen changes and unexpected occurrences, and only when you're willing for things to change, for things to be the way they are and accept them as they are, will they change. You can't run from the problem. The only way out is through. Esoteric. There is a law of balance operating in the universe which demands equality. For this is the special guidance. That's the definitions I've been looking for. I don't recall seeing that before. Okay, in mundane, there will be many unforeseen changes and unexpected occurrences, and only when you're willing for things to be the way they are and accept them as they are will they change. You can't run from the problem. The only way out is through. Esoteric. There is a law of balance operating in the universe which demands equality. For every win, there must be a loss. For every happiness, a sadness, and for every positive move a negative challenge. You cannot have one without the other. It would be like trying to separate night from day. The moon in the best course of action, be neutral and follow your inner light. The moon as the outcome. Change will bring a new perspective and a new you, and by putting your pessimism or insecurities behind you, you'll become a much stronger and happier person. So, I could turn this into a spread, but I would definitely need a bigger table. There's some I would eliminate. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, that's it for the moon on this book. And then we'll have a look at this, which is basically that book copied. Well, I don't guess I got this far. But it has, okay, on the moon it says, the ruler of the flux and reflux, the child of the sons of the mighty. The card number is 18. The key number is 29. It is ruled by Pisces. The Hebrew letter Qoph, Q-O-P-H. The translation is the back of the head. Numerical value of 12. The right side up, it signifies imagination, intuition, dreams, psychism, and psychic work sometimes. Often it signifies work in the entertainment industry, particularly acting or fictional writing. Ill-dignified, deception, illusion, an inability to deal well with reality and a consequent escape into daydreams. An inability to distinguish truth from illusion sometimes. An inability to tell the truth often. On a mythological note, the god Neptune as god of the sea and fish. The god Poseidon as god of the sea and fish. The god Kephra as the crab. Artemis and Hecate and all moon goddesses. I would guess it would be feminine, huh? What is it? A man? Is it the man on the moon or is it the woman? Right? That's a good question there, because I didn't know. Nobody called out and the man in the moon, his name is Sin. I will tell you that. Okay. Oh, fairy dust, fairy dust. Okay. Let me get that out of the way. Oh, I forgot to put my... Oh. All right, here we go, boys and girls. This will probably speed up as the rest of the... Well, I don't know. There are a couple of... These are readers. This is a reader. And this is the way I'm going to do it, my dear. You just have no idea how hard it was to get there. No idea whatsoever. And now I have a shadow. What's with the shadow? I can't have a shadow. No shadow. I do not know how I got that, but I can't have it. Okay. Prisma Visions, the moon. The moon rises full over the river, blah, blah, dazzling in the shallows in its brilliant silver light. Okay. A pale reflection of the sun, it pervades a ghostly realm where the subtle characteristics of objects are thrown into sharp relief. On either side of the river, wolves howl their keening song, crying to the illusory nature of their goddess. An empty boat rocks in the supple current, sole witness to the dreamlike, emotive scene. When the moon rises, it's as if your familiar surroundings become an eerie shadow world. The fears and sadness so repressed in your daily life become starkly apparent, and you are forced to confront your often neglected subconscious. This world, though fraught with wild imaginings, is somehow truer than reality, and there is much to learn from your journey through it. The shimmering stillness of your inner being is always present, but rarely traversed. Short and sweet. and eloquent, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to leave them. Yes, I'm going to leave them in the book. It's just easier like that, right? Okay. And now we have the Hanson Robert. The moon rules the subconscious. Psychic powers are revealed. Intuition is strong. As the moon waxes and wanes, beware of deception and shifting sands of superficial relationships. This also suggests that unusual supernatural events may occur. A touch of lunacy is in the air. Reversed, it says deceptions are unmasked. Small mistakes can be corrected. The Chibi Tarot. I call it bobblehead. Whether you're fighting evil by moonlight or winning love by daylight, let this card be your guide. The moon braves the darkness with closed eyes, content and serene. She fears not the unknown. Life may be filled with innumerable variables, but you will never accomplish anything if you try to count them all. Accept that certain factors are out of your control and move on. Satisfying yourself with lies and deception will cause you to falter in the face of danger. Seek out the truth even when it does not benefit you. I've also got the 9 in here. The moon represents the female essence. This is the Chinese tarot. The moon represents the female essence of nature. The goddess of the moon holds a hare, an emblem of longevity. Divinatory meanings: deception, twilight, obscurity, intuition, disillusionment, danger, a bad influence, ulterior motives, and false friends. And this is right side up. Reverse is a minor deception. Recognized before damage is done. Ooh. So you shine the light on the moon or darkness. Trifling mistakes. Overcoming bad temptations. So that moon upside down is better than it is right side up. That's weird how they do that. Okay. The silhouette is on the floor. Ibises stand in the fig tree and see the fairy falls into the world with stars decorating her long hair. Stands in the fig tree. Oh, I'm reading wrong. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, the moon. Moonlight shines through the branches under the tree. A wolf and a dog jointly hold a branch in which a bug is crawling. Upright meanings: hesitation, restlessness, crazy, hysteria, illusion, unknown, dreams, imagination, supernatural fantasy, subconscious secrets. Lies, gullible, scandal, primitive instincts, fear, and daydreaming. Reversed is slightly uncomfortable, surface scam, crisis, escape from reality. The moon reversed is escape from reality. Fraud cannot distinguish between reality and dream. This is kind of jumbled up. Maybe it's just me. But, okay, that's the Silhouette Tarot. Let me stick that back in there. And this is 1001 Arabian Nights. And it just says news, goals, births, and healing. Critical relationships. I guess the italics is reversed. Okay, reversed is critical relationships, falseness, and hidden dangers. basically, there was birth. Okay, so there was hardly anything in that. I may just take, well, I don't know. I don't know. Here we're going to use the Biblical Tarot. Number 18, Jacoby's Dream at Bethel. Upright meaning, journey into the subconscious, intuition and inner guidance, mystery and uncertainty, dreams and vision, illumination amidst darkness. Reversed meaning is confusion and misunderstanding, fear and anxiety, hidden dangers, loss of direction, illusion and deception. And then it says something else on here. The moon, Jacoby's dream at Bethel. Jacob's. That says Jacoby here. And here it says Jacob. Jacob's dream. Okay, and then here the moon is the bridge in, I think, yeah. The veil, oh, no. The moon. You come across a bridge. A strange breeze tosses specks of light around in the thick air. You notice a figure standing on the other side of the bridge. It looks like you, or what you imagine yourself to look like, but as you step forward, the space around you ripples like a mirage and distorts your vision. Is this an illusion? Fragments of your past and future memories reflect onto the bridge and then vanish. The figure that was once at the other end of the bridge is no longer there, and you find yourself in their place. The bridge is a card about illusions. If you pull it in a reading, it can either be a warning that something around you is not what it seems, or it could be a call for you to pay attention to your unconscious self. We all have desires that are not necessarily resting on the surface. Sometimes we are unaware of what we want most in life. The bridge is only a metaphor for this, and in time you will see that it is constructed only of your own illusions. Card of illusion. Now we have the Witch's Tarot. Large crescent moon hovers in the sky. The moon contains the profile of a man with green, suspicious complexion. This is the man of the moon and the lady of the moon. The clouds of deception hover nearby to assist the moon in its plans of deceit. The sun sinks in the horizon, and it cannot offer assistance. Only the stars in the night faintly light the way to the pitfalls which exist ahead. Many birds stand rigid on barren trees, and the fields are green, and although they are cold at night, tomorrow, beneath the warm sunshine of the daylight, they will spring again to life. The moon has a red heart on its left cheek, symbolizing trust and happiness. However, hidden from view on the other cheek is the symbol of deception, deceit, and misfortune. The moon triumphs at night over the stars. Those who have prudently waited and honestly labored shall flourish in the morning sunshine. That makes me think of turning the other cheek. Divinatory meaning is deception, trickery, dishonesty, disillusionment, danger, DDDDD, error, caution, warning, bad influence, ulterior motives, insincerity, false friends, selfishness, deceit, double dealing, craftiness, fake pretenses, disgrace, slander, libel, being taken advantage of, an attempt to take unfair advantage of a situation, an insincere relationship, superficiality, unknown enemies, the meeting of many divergent influences, falling into a trap, being misled, failure to avoid surrounding dangers. The chance of making an error is very great. Numerous surrounding influences will combine into new pressures and impressions. Reversal. A minor deception recognized before damage is done. Trifling mistakes, overcoming bad temptations. Gain without paying the price. No consequence. Taking advantage of someone. The Enchanted Forest, one of them. And also here is a very big picture of the card. I don't know if that does any good or not. I don't know if you can even see that, really. Well, okay, I'll stop now. Who dares to go into the forest when the moon is full? Who would follow the luminous paths to the gazing pool? The forest is a different place by night. What is familiar by day becomes illusory when the moon is full. The sounds of the night are eerie, haunting, filling you with nameless longings. Moonbeams sift down through the branches, silvering the sylvan glade. Hares go mad in the moonlight. Wild with lunatic ecstasy, they dance and leap, and then suddenly stand motionless, frozen, and bewitched. They return to themselves when the dawn breaks, most of the time. It is said that those who sleep in the moonlight either go mad or become poets. The poet Byron wrote, "There is a dangerous silence in that hour, a stillness which leaves room for the full soul to open all itself without the power of calling wholly back its self-control. Perhaps our lives are but a dream, and we are all mad as moon hares." Even the most pragmatic cannot deny the magic of the night. When moonlight shines upon your reading, take it as a sign to let intuition roll over logic for a time. Pay attention to your dreams, which may be full of portents. Spend time outside in the dark with no intention other than to be open to the mystery. Meaning at a glance is secrecy and mystery. The dream world, intuition, something is hidden from view. A closer look. How many hares do you see in this card? Okay. There's one in the water. There's one in this. There's a rabbit in the reflection of the moon in the water, and there's a rabbit here, and there's a rabbit in the back, and a rabbit here. There's a rabbit here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Okay, all I got was 6. I counted one twice. Okay. And, oh, that's too far out. And now we have Nostradamus, and wasn't this fun to find? Well, this one wasn't too bad, but the other one was quite... Okay. The moon card may... The moon card may at one time have depicted one of the classical goddesses of the moon, Diana or Phoebe, as in the Visconti's Sfora deck, dating from the 15th century, but for most decks since then it has tended to show 2 towers with the moon rising between them, and often including 2 dogs howling at the lunar sphere. In almost every instance from the Renaissance onwards, the card has included a crayfish or a crab, the sign of the zodiacal sign of Cancer ruled by the moon. In Nostradamus imagery, above the moon is a curious symbol that reappears in a number of the images from the Lost Book. A V-shaped sign in which is held an 8-spoked wheel and 3 sickle moons. The wheel may stand for the 8 seasonal divisions into quarters and cross quarters, seasons, and equinoxes. The 3 moons are perhaps understood as the 3 lunar quadrants which culminate in the 4th, the full moon below them. Taken collectively, these images can be seen as referring to the tidal changes that occur during the progress of the moon. Since the card itself has always been recognized as having everything to do with cyclicity, waxing, waning, and the tides, this seems appropriate. Of course, I think it's like Nibiru. Interpretation. The oldest meanings of this card tended towards the negative, having to do with lunar madness and inconsistency, but for the magicians of the Renaissance there was a better understanding. The moon ruled over the tidal energy of human life from the menstrual cycle to the actions of the sea. Hello, the queen or the disaster. Come on. Come on. Do it. Lunar sphere. Oh, shit. I know I read that. Taken collectively, these images can be seen as referring to the tidal changes that occur during the progress of the moon. Since the card itself has always been recognized as having everything to do with cyclicity, waxing and waning, and the tides, this seems appropriate. The oldest meanings of this card tended toward the negative, having to do with the lunar madness and the inconsistency, but for the magicians of the Renaissance, shit, I went way back. As such, its reading has more to do with the shifting fortunes and the rise and fall and sweep of human affairs. Through this, it represents synchronicity and the way that seemingly unconnected events come together and are shown to influence each other. The ability to see these things is all a part of the lunar character, often indicating a psychic ability in the reader. Needless to say, such abilities should always be treated with caution, as they can give rise to the other major aspect of this card, uncertainty, delusion, and even deception. This doesn't, of course, mean that people with psychic gifts should be treated with suspicion, merely that the visions we receive by this means need to be filtered and balanced by careful consideration. Reversed, the moon points to a more extreme denial of... Stop it! Reverse, the moon points to a more extreme denial of anything lunar, strange, unforeseen, or unlikely. With all its mystical experiences, it is essential to balance the magical with the mundane, the mysterious with the everyday common sense, and it is too easy to get caught up in a whirlwind of extraordinary events, forgetting that ordinary life goes hand in hand with the miraculous. She's looking straight up right here. Little face. Visions. Upright, tidal change, twilight, deception, period of increased hidden influences, esoteric forces, unconscious urges, and dreams. Reversed. Error, lies, a period of decline, delusionment, madness, instability, fluctuation, and irrational behavior. For as the moon is so led by its angel, it influences the heavens as it draws near. Prophetic reference, a great change in human destiny in the 21st century. Okay. The Mythic Tarot. This is a bit of a story. The card of the moon portrays a mysterious feminine figure with three faces, crowned by a diadem of the moon in its three phases. Her hair is silvery and she is clothed in white robes which flow into a pool at her feet. Beside her stands a three-headed dog, while from the depths of the pool a crab attempts to crawl from the water. The sky behind her is dark, lit only by the luminescence of her crown. The three faces of Hecate, like the three faces of the Moirai, reflect the inevitable changes of the inevitable change. Reflect the inevitable changing faces of life. The crab is a creature which belongs wholly to neither the watery or the earth, but makes its abode in between. Thus the crab is an image of the dream world which arises from the unknown depths, but intrudes upon the day world in the form of powerful images and feelings which cannot be ignored. White and silver, the colors of Hecate's robe and hair, are associated with the moon because they are believed to contain all colors within them in a nascent state. Tiny, tiny, iridescent. Here we meet the ancient underworld goddess Hecate. Am I going to read all that? Oh my god. Here we meet the ancient underworld goddess Hecate, ruler of the moon in magic and enchantment. In myth, Hecate is sometimes interchangeable with Artemis, the moon goddess, although much older deity. Powerful both in the sky and beneath the earth, the child of Zeus and Hera, she incurred her mother's wrath by stealing a pot of rouge. She fled to earth and hid in the house of a woman who had just been brought to bed with a child. Contact with childbirth rendered her impure, and she was thus taken to the underworld to be washed of her stain. Instead, she became one of the underworld rulers and was called the Invincible Queen, presiding over purification and expiations. As a goddess of enchantment, she sent demons to earth who tormented... Get away! Come on. Come on, Alice. Fuck off. Come on. Go. Go on. Go. Go on. You can't be here. Bye-bye. Lay down right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Nope. On an inner level, the moon goddess is an image of the mysterious watery depths of... Don't look at me. Of the unconscious. We have already encountered this strange, elusive realm in the two other cards in the major arcana. The High Priestess... The High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune. These three cards are linked to meaning and represent a progression in deepening understanding and experience of the world of the unconscious. Though Persephone, the High Priestess... Persephone is the High Priestess. Okay. The High Priestess, the fool become aware of and an intuition of his own personal depths, a secret self which lay beneath ordinary mundane life. Though the Morai who preside over the Wheel of Fortune, he experienced the power which we call fate, through the sudden change of fortune, and reveal an invisible law or purposeful pattern within. Here in the card of the moon, we find in the image of Hecate an experience of the great collective sea of the unconscious, from which not only the individual but the whole of life has emerged. Hecate is more than a portrayal of personal depths. She embodies the feminine principle of life itself, and the three faces and lunar phases reflect her multifaceted power over heaven, earth, and underworld. In psychological terms, it is from this oceanic realm of the human imagination that the great myths and religious symbols and works of art are born over the centuries. It is a chaotic, confusing, unbounded world of which the individual with his personal journey and search for self are only a tiny part. Something is washed over us which cleanses the past and prepares the way for the future, but we must wait as the fetus waits in the womb. The only road to Hecate's world is the royal road of dreams, and like the crab tantalizes us with a glimpse and slips back into the water again. The card of the moon is a card of gestation, full of confusion, anxiety, and bewilderment. We have nothing but the dream world and the star of hope to guide us, for this image of the feminine is not a personal one like that of the High Priestess. It is vague and elusive and impersonal, embodying itself as shifting moods and confusion. Hecate is never really graspable, for she is a goddess of magic and initiates the fool into a world greater than himself. Stop it! I tried. Here she comes back. What the hell? On a divinatory level, the card of Hecate, the moon goddess, augurs a period of confusion, fluctuation, and uncertainty. We are in the grip of the unconscious and can do nothing but wait and cling to the elusive images of dreams and the vague sense of hope and faith. And thus the fool awaits his rebirth in the waters of a greater womb, dimly aware that his journey of personal development is only a small fragment of a vast, unknowable life which spans millennia and which remains eternally fertile, yet eternally unformed. Now we have the Enchanted Tarot, and then we will finish up with the Thoth deck. This is an awful card. I don't care for it, but it's a pretty good read. Under a waning moon in a dark and eerie landscape, the lost child stands with her faithful dog. She gazes up fearfully at the moon, remembering terrifying stories of a moon witch who plays cruel tricks on those lost in the night, and she raises her hands as if in prayer and hopes that she will be saved and guided through this nightmare. Across a moat of turgid water, inhabited perhaps by fearsome things, she suddenly sees the turrets of her castle home. This is like we have always lived in the castle, man. But the drawbridge is up and the gates are locked, and no one seems to hear her cries. Has the moon witch's magic barred her way home? Just as the child is about to succumb to overwhelming feelings of despair, danger, and the sadness born of longing for home and family, the moon beams out more strongly from behind the clouds and suddenly appears warm yet pensive. The moon is crying because she has so wrongly been thought to be a malicious moon witch. Tears from this pale-faced goddess fall into the water, and suddenly the land swells up higher than the moat and the gate surrounding the castle, and the child clearly sees the way home as she gives thanks to the moon. Oh, that's an earthquake. The awakening. Thus is the darkness before the dawn. You must separate illusion from reality. Even though the path may seem frightening and treacherous, you need not fear the mysterious unknown. Your intuition can guide you to hidden opportunities, and remember to save your energies for the challenges ahead and not squander them with anxious worrying. I don't know why I can't talk today. The enchantment. Outside under a waning moon, visualize. Oh, here's the goofiness I remember. Outside under a waning moon, visualize the circle of protective light around yourself as you stand by a body of water. Hold a black stone in your hands. Concentrate and project a specific personal fear onto the stone, and then strongly hurl it out of your circle of light into the pond, lake, stream, or ocean, or whatever it is, the body of water. As you chant, with this stone, fear be banished. Into water it has vanished. With this stone, fear be banished. Into water it has vanished. Okie doke. Alright, and to end, yes, this is the end, we have the Thoth deck. And the moon. Perhaps I should actually see what I'm going to read about. Okay, there's a scarab, a crab. That's frequencies and waves. Like I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there's nine little things. And it says, that's, one moment please. It says it's Pisces, and there's that other word again, quaff. Here it's K-O-P-H, cough, 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 cop. This is the most sinister card. Through sorcery and witchcraft, it is possible to get an understanding of the universe, but the path is dangerous. On each side of the picture are dark fortresses. The Anubis, the gods of death, are ready to seize the soul of the aspirant, and jackals wait to devour those who have fallen by the way. The sun is held by the Scarabus saker under the water. That's the beetle I think I was looking at. The scarab, the sacred scarab under the water, and the design on the card is planned on the movement of the tide, whose ebb and flow is governed by the moon. Okay. Well, that's all I got. I'm sorry if you made it this far. Thank you very much. This was not my best job doing this. I did it once before and it went really well, I swear to God. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I'm going to a greenhouse and buy some tomato plants. Bye-bye.